Hi, fellow clinicians. Today I'm going to show you how to make a fun farm-themed activity that your preschool students will absolutely love. You only need two things. The first thing you need are 6 or 7 small containers. So what I have is I looked around my house and I found these little plastic blocks that can open and close. The second thing you will need, since this is a farm-themed activity, you will need tiny little farm animals to fit inside your containers. So what I'm going to do is I am going to switch over to my dot cam so you can see how I quickly make this activity. And then I will give you some tips on how you can use this activity in therapy. So we are ready to make this activity. So I just have 2 of the blocks here. So I have my blocks open, and then what I do is I put the farm animals inside and close it up. It's as simple as that. I like to use 2 farm animals in each container if I have enough of the little farm animals. And even better if I have 1 small animal and 1 big animal. That's great for talking about size concepts when you use this with students. Let's put this activity into action. So something that I work on with my young students is trying to increase their attention span. Attention is really, really important for learning. Without that focus, learning will happen very, very slowly. So I want toys that will attract the students' attention, and having a toy that shakes serves that purpose. So first what I do is I shake the block, and that's usually enough to get most kids to come over to me and want to participate in the activity. So because there are 5 or 6 blocks, this activity can usually last between 5 and 15 minutes, which is a very appropriate amount of time for a young student to attend to a teacher-led activity. The second thing I use these blocks for is to encourage imitation of motor movements. So all kids learn by imitation, and copying actions is the precursor to imitating sounds and words. That's why it's so important. So when I shake the block, I want the child to imitate that action. If the child wants to try, he will usually use nonverbal cues to ask for the block, such as reaching for it or making eye contact. If I think the child is going to stay in my area, I let him have control of the block. Otherwise, we take the block together and shake it. Another way that I like to encourage motor imitation with this activity is to knock on the block as if it were a door, because we are going to eventually open it. So what I will do is I will shake it, and then I will go knock, knock, knock. And usually that's enough for the child to want to try knocking on the block, or at least shaking it. And of course, while I'm doing those actions, I always label what I'm doing. So I will go shake, 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 or knock, knock, knock. And that's really a great way to have the child learn to associate words with specific actions. So the third thing I use this activity for is increasing joint attention. So joint attention is really important for learning vocabulary and language that is associated with referent objects or actions. So I make sure the student and I open the block together. This really ensures that we are both paying attention to the object inside when the block opens. So we'll open it, and then once it opens, I quickly label that object because I know we are paying attention to the same thing. So what I might say is chicken, or I might say cluck, 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 cluck. And then that is a great way for the student to learn the label that goes with the item inside. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and now you have a new activity that you can try this week with your preschool speech therapy students.